Today we're going to look at frequency adverbs and when to use the present simple tense in some cases. So first of all, adverbs of frequency. What are they? Well, it's how frequently we do something, how often we do something. And so there are a number of words that we use to describe how often we do something. So I'm going to give you one, and that is the most. Always. I always wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Always. So now I want you to think of 5 of your own frequency adverbs. So pause this video, and then when you press play again, I'm going to reveal some more frequency adverbs. Okay, so hopefully you've paused and press play again. Here we are. Hopefully you have your frequency adverbs. So I gave you always. What's the opposite of always? It's the least likely. It's never. I never do this. I never wash my hair. That's not true. What else do we have? So we've got always. We could say often. We could say usually. Often and usually are basically the same. I usually play football on Sundays. A little bit less than often and usually. We could say sometimes. I sometimes go to the cinema. Not always. I sometimes. Bit less than sometimes. A good one would be hardly ever. I hardly ever go swimming. Very, very unusual. I could also say rarely. I rarely go swimming. So there are some examples of frequency adverbs to say how often we do something. Of course, there are other ways to talk about how often we do something, saying literally how many times we do it. Once a week, twice a month, 10 times a year. But with all of these words that we use, frequency adverbs and words to describe how often we do it, we need to use the present simple tense. So hopefully you noticed in my examples there, I rarely go swimming. I wake up every morning at whatever, 7 o'clock. I'm using the present simple tense. So the first example of when to use the present simple is for how often you do something. Regular actions, that's the key word. Regular actions. If you talk about these, then you want to use the present simple tense. And a lot of people try using the present continuous tense to talk about these regular actions. I am waking up at 7 o'clock every morning. No, it's the present simple for regular actions. Other times we use the present simple tense for facts. The sun rises in the east. Also for permanent things. For example, I live in London. That is permanent. I work at the bakery. So there are a few examples of when you need to use the present simple tense, and next week we're going to have a look at when to use the present continuous tense.